Okay, there we go. Okay, 6:01 here. So kind of like game time. We're gonna go ahead and try to get the game started on time so we can get you home on time. But appreciate all of you joining us this evening. My name is Jason Nickleby, and I'm an assistant director with the league, and I have the responsibility of overseeing the officiating program here with the league, along with Pam. And we're very happy that you're here tonight, and hopeful that many of you will be starting your journey as an official yet tonight, moving into the spring season. So we have several great speakers for you to talk about their officiating journey and how they got into officiating, what they like about it, why they still do it, and why you should do it too. So excited to hear from all of them. I'm a longtime official myself, obviously very passionate about officiating and how we can do it better and provide great opportunities for you. But I think it's great to hear from folks that are out there doing it as well. So you're going to hear from them, and we'll introduce them as we go here. I'm going to turn it over to Laura Mockentune right now. She's our assistant director and director of IT at the league, and she's going to talk about some housekeeping and logistical items, and then we'll get started.
Great. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Again, many of us are very familiar with Zoom after the last 2.5 years, but just some reminders and ideas and suggestions for you. First of all, we really appreciate when cameras are on. Eye contact and watching folks and having folks interact with us does feel a little bit better with cameras on. So if you're in a spot that you can do that, we greatly appreciate that. Do make sure that your microphones are muted. Many of you, it looks like, are on the run and have people around you as you're enjoying tonight. We will have some question and answer time at the end, and would invite you at that point to unmute those mics and ask some questions. These forums often have a very active chat going on alongside the conversation of speakers and presenters. So if you can maneuver on your screens and have that chat window open, it's a great place to ask questions, get some answers, and often it becomes just kind of a running conversation of things that others are looking at and or thinking about as we're going through. And then finally, there are a number of resources that I'll add into the chat, but we do have a page that goes with this forum, and then the State High School League and the MYAS website also have a number of resources. So as we refer to some things tonight, we'll drop a few of those links in the chat, but know that we'll help you get to those resources that we're referring to throughout the night. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Jason to get moving with our first speaker tonight.
Perfect. Thanks, Laura. As we mentioned, throw things in the chat if you have any questions, anything at all. Anything that comes to your mind as a question or a concern about officiating, throw in the chat. There's a number of veteran officials on here as well who can answer those questions. And I can tell you, over our careers as officials, all the questions that you have, we have had them before too. And want to make sure that we get those questions answered for you. We have John Faison, Mike Manita, and Rachel Palmer, longtime active officials that are going to be speaking to you tonight. But I also I want to cut over to MJ Wagonson. She's one of our basketball coordinators. She is also a longtime softball umpire, and recently, or fairly recently, took up football, and her crew worked in the state tournament this fall. So we're really proud of her and her work, and great ambassador for officiating and the benefits of it. And she's actually in the middle of games, I think, waiting for a JV or just finishing up a JV, moving into a varsity, or waiting for the JV game to start. So the life of an official. So I'm going to cut over to MJ, and she's going to take it from here.
Okay, thank you, Jason. I just wanted to stand here in the corner of the gym for a minute, and I can walk away, because one of the things that you talk about is why we officiate. And we're here tonight, and this is a JV game, and my partners are working in 2-person while I'm doing this for a few minutes. But we look around and we see the fans and we see the kids, and we've got all kinds of people here, and we got a few wrestlers standing in the corner and watching their team or classmates play. And I can smell the popcorn even though you can't. And that's what keeps us coming back. We just enjoy spending time in the communities, enjoy spending time with kids, and just being a part of a game. Obviously, I stopped playing basketball a lot of years ago. I still play some other sports and some individual sports, but this is what keeps us moving, and this is what keeps us going, is being able to give back to these communities, being able to give back to kids so that they have an opportunity to participate. And that's really what's important. Now, there's some other benefits as well that as officials we can glean from. And it's the reward of seeing kids succeed. And when I say succeed, I mean participate, because not everybody's a winner. That's how we know that for a fact. But just participate and be part of a team, and all the things that we learn by being part of a team: respect, responsibility, self-discipline, etc. And those, as officials, those are all things that we learned as we were participants as well. And we just continue to roll those over into our lives. When I see athletes in the future, they're playing at the next level, or they're graduated and they're working citizens in the community, they remember their athletic days fondly. They'll come up, talk to me, hey, remember this game, that game? And usually I do. But it's so much fun to be involved, and it's so much fun to provide those opportunities for kids. I don't care if it's the starting athletes that remember you, or the kid that comes off the bench or out of the dugout that one time and gets a hit, or scores a basket at the end of a game, or just scores. That's what's fun. I work a lot of under varsity at the volleyball level, at the football level as well. And it's just fun to provide those opportunities. Whether, it's 70 degrees and sunny for football, or it's 32 and sleeting for football, or whatever the case might be, it's still a great opportunity to provide those playing opportunities, those participating opportunities for athletes. So why do I do it? Why do I stay involved? I stay involved for those reasons, and all the people that I work with, the ADs, the coaches, the other officials, the camaraderie there is immense. And bottom line, we're all just people, and we all care about each other. And we've been in and out of this for years and years and years. And the bottom line is providing those opportunities. But meeting all those people along the way, being able to work together for those opportunities is just reward in itself. So why should you get involved? It's fun. It's a little extra cash on the side, and you get to be involved with the game, get to stay with the game. Even football, it's not a game that I ever played competitively, but it's a fantastic experience, and I really enjoyed my opportunities that I've had so far working football, and I hope to continue to work football for quite a while yet. So why be involved? It's a lot of fun. You get good training, you have good support systems, you get good mentorship, you meet great people, and you get to be out. You get to be out and about, and you're involved in things. So I hope I kind of shared a little bit of my passion with you, and I hope that maybe that'll inspire you to whatever sport you're interested in. I don't care if it's hockey, gymnastics, dance, whatever, is to give back and provide opportunities for athletes to play their sport, just like someone provided the opportunity for you. Thank you.
Thanks, MJ. Really appreciate that. It's perfect to have that experience for people to see. I would tell you, based on the number of whistles I heard in the background, I think you're gonna be shooting bonus for the next hour, so you better get back out there and help.
Yeah, they're probably wondering well, they know where I'm at, but they're probably wishing that they didn't have to run quite so far. So
Thanks.
thanks for your time.
Thanks, MJ. We'll talk soon.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right, well, that's great to hear somebody who's currently working a game. So obviously MJ really passionate about officiating and helping. She's down in the Rochester area. So if anyone has a need for connections and so forth, MJ is definitely your go-to person down there. Next, we're going to hear from John Faison. John, a longtime official with the league in football, basketball, and baseball, having worked at the state tournament and the championship level in several of those sports, and also works collegiately as well. So, John, take it away.
Hey, everyone. Again, my name is John Faison. In the St. Paul area. I belong to St. Paul Capital City Officials for football and baseball, or football and basketball, and then Northwest Umpires for baseball. You know, we appreciate you being here. This is kind of the start of you know, kind of a recreation time for you to meet longtime friends and give back to the sports that we love. As you know, there's been plenty of articles out there about the shortage of officials, and kind of back in 1999, I saw a similar article, and that's how I got my start. And it was right around the Prep Bowl times, right around November. And then I just started in with basketball, and I found an association. I got onto the high school league and registered, and kind of started there. You know, I had great mentorship through basketball, and you know, there several years later it progressed into starting baseball. And you know, I grew up playing basketball, grew up playing baseball, and then several years after that it grew into you know, some of my other friends who were officials, they were working football. They're like, John, why don't you get into football? And there progressed into football. So now I'm a 3-sport athlete or official. And you know, being an official all year round, you know, I have to give credit to my family and my wife for supporting me through that, because it is challenging sometimes. You know, during basketball, we're gone 2 to 3 nights a week after our day jobs and everything like that. But again, it's something that I love to do, that I found a love for. And you know, again, MJ said it as well, there's that camaraderie. I found some lifelong friends through officiating. And then, you know, from there, once you're into it for several years, like I have been, you know, it becomes that competition, and you know, you're looking to graduate to the college of sports, and kind of that was my goal for football and baseball. And now I'm umpiring and refereeing college football and baseball at the Division II and III level. And you know, I just kind of find it very rewarding. So from the start and then just till now, what kind of really keeps me in the game now is, you know, again, the love of officiating, and then the friends that I've had. You know, it also keeps you active. I feel young at heart when I'm out there on the court. And you know, it also, you know, just provides that outlet that, you know, some people need, that socialization, again, being with friends, and then you know, just being active and just having, if you've played sports, you know, you kind of have that competitive nature to yourself. And you know, again, when you're out there officiating, whether you're calling balls and strikes, you know, you're trying to get every call right, every pitch right. And again, there's that, you know, competition between you and the pitch or you and the safer out, and, you know, getting it right. You know, you're not going to get them all right. And, you know, when you get them maybe wrong or, you know, you're not quite sure. But again, you just move on to the next play and you just try and keep getting better. You know, one friend or a lifelong friend that I've come to have he's on this meeting with us. He's a fellow official, Mike Manita. He got me, I met him through baseball and then eventually through football. We started on the same high school football crew and we spent 8 years together on that high school football crew. And now, you know, we're going to be friends for for the rest of our lives. Unfortunately for Mike. So, you know, again, reach out to any of us. Jason will have a lot of information throughout this forum. Go on the high school league website. You know, you can get information through there. But again, you know, this is the first step into, you know, your officiating journey. And, you know, again, just remember, we're all here to help you and to get better and for you to succeed. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that. I would echo all of that, you know, personally, the camaraderie piece, lifelong friends, several officials in my wedding party a long time ago. You know, a lot of officials that I still see quite a bit, even though I haven't worked high school since coming to the league, but still lifelong friends and great people that you'll meet in this avocation. So thanks, John. So speaking of John's lifelong friend, we're going to transition over to Mike Manita. So Mike is our newest regional baseball coordinator for the league, longtime baseball umpire. We worked together many a time, many years ago, football official as well, and then had quite a long stint as a basketball official with the league. So going to turn it over to Mike to talk about his experience.
Sorry with that. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. Appreciate you you and the high school league invite me to talk about my experience and my share my thoughts on officiating. I started officiating a little older in life. I had kids young, so I coached kids, my two kids growing up. And after I got done coaching, I felt a need to have something more, be more involved in sports, stay involved in the game that I love, baseball. And I found a need, officiating filled that hole. So for me, it was, when I was coaching, I wasn't probably the nicest coach to some officials, but I still appreciated that craft because I know what they were going through and I know how hard they worked. So coaching took me to officiating, and that's a different path than some others. But you ask the question gets asked of you all the time: what brought you to officiating? How and why do you do it? There's various answers as I talk to new umpires coming into our association. Anything from just the money, the need for help, wanting to stay in a game that they love, they played it, want to stick around it. We do have guys who coached it for years and want to stick around the game. So there's many different reasons why you get started in the officiating. And I think the key is once you start is to find that love of why you do it. And once you do, I think you'll find there's a lot of us have the passion for it and stick around it for quite a while. And of course, our deterrents, you got to work through, and you got to be diligent in staying on top of the game itself, and that can deter you. But I think if you do it long enough, you'll find there's a big passion there for a lot of officials. The reason that I still do it, I stick around it, and foremost is the fellowships that you join, the people that you meet, like John said, and thanks a lot, John, I appreciate that. it's unbelievable how many people you meet, other officials that you would have never met if you weren't officiating, but they become lifelong friends. And it's a fellowship and the fraternity of officiating that for me is keeping me around the game. One of the biggest points keeps you on the game. It's not just other officials either. It's coaches, it's players. One of the greatest things I had experience was that you officiate a high school game, and next thing you know, you see the same player in college, and now he's an official with our association, Northwest Umpires, and working his way up the college ranks. I mean, that to me was a great feeling, and that's a big part of it as well. Mentorship. If you can help somebody come along as an official and watch that person progress, move up the ranks, become a good official, that is an enormous feedback, enormous feeling that you get of something that you had accomplished and something you helped develop a official. That's a big point to me. Mentoring and teaching is something I really enjoy doing, and officiating has helped me become a better person, better teacher at in the game of baseball and as well as football. The other factors that I touch on what MJ said is the popcorn, but I'll also throw in the hot dogs at the football games. Those are pretty darn good too. So that's pretty much John or Jason all I had. Again, thanks for the newer officials who are on the call. This is a great start for you, and I'll ask that you just give it some time. Let it develop. Find what you like about officiating, and then work with that.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that message. And I think for all of the speakers tonight, they're all very accomplished officials. Took them, some time working games, gaining experience, seeking out people to help them to achieve their officiating goals. And I would tell you that the number of officials that are out there that would be willing to help you get better and develop your skills and achieve your goals, you're going to find that there are numerous kind of people like that want to help. So Mike being, one of our biggest advocates, especially in the baseball world. So appreciate Mike being on tonight. We're going to now have Rachel Palmer. She's from North Mankato, and she is our state coordinator of softball umpires. She has been a 30+ year softball umpire and very passionate about the game, heavily involved at all levels, both high school and collegiately. Our supervisor at our state tournament, and really the go-to person for softball umpiring in our state and in our region. So Rachel.
Well, thanks for having me. I am, I took a different path. Title IX passed when I was in 8th grade, and I got to play. And I had a lot of my older sister and my older cousins didn't get to. So I fell in love with the competition. So high school sports, and then I was able to play college sports. I wasn't good. I mean, the sports were in their infancy, but I just loved the competition. And so that I just became a physical education teacher, and I needed a summer job. I had little kids, and I needed something at night because I needed somebody to take care of the kids. So my husband would do that. And then, so I started doing youth softball, and I wasn't a softball player. I mean, I played slow pitch, but I just fell in love with the competition, and I had really good mentors that I could call, that they would explain a rule. I messed up a lot because there was a lot of different rules between fast pitch and slow pitch, dealing with stuff. And I think the key is to have really good mentors. And, fortunately for me, I had Billy Peterson and Mark Reber and Dave Starr that I worked with them, and we'd get together between innings and talk, okay, what are you going to work on this inning? What could make that better? And that passion to serve the game is infectious. It took me about 3 years to really get hooked, because I started to feel like, oh, okay, I got this. I mean, even the coaches aren't giving me as much grief, but I still make mistakes and I still have to go back to the rule book and figure it out. But now I have a whole network of people all over the country that I can call, and we hold each other accountable, and after this is year 32, 33, something like that, I've got a lot of people that I can reach out to. And just finding those mentors and learning from your mistakes, because you're going to make them, and then just paying attention to mechanics. So there's different levels, and the key is to start. And I think one of the big thing is to get out there and call pitches, volunteer, ask for help. So I know this is not that long, so I'm going to let everybody else do their thing, but I just still love it. It gives me a reason to stay in shape, because sometimes it's like, well, okay, but it gives me a reason to keep working, and the competition is what keeps me in it.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel. Very passionate person in our softball world, and appreciate her being on here. We're going to listen to a quick message from Jen Myers. She's a track and field official, came from the coaching side of things into the officiating side of things, and then we're going to discuss next steps on becoming an official and benefits and so forth. So we'll listen to Jen and then we'll move forward.
Track and field in our great state of Minnesota. I was a track and field athlete in high school and college myself, so I was familiar with the events. But if you have a love for the sport and a love for watching young people succeed and achieve, this will be the perfect spot for you. I got into officiating because I was helping a little bit as a high school coach, and at one of the track meets they were short of officials and they needed somebody to just help pull tape for a long jump. Well, all of my athletes were already finished for the day, so I said, yeah, we'll stick around. The bus isn't here yet. I can help for a while. And I really enjoyed watching the students when we'd read the distances and the lengths out for them. They got really excited, whether it was a 7th grader in their first jump or a senior who got a new PR. From there, I got talking with the long jump official about how does this work? Does the school call you? Is there a big spreadsheet of ways to find out about who needs help? And that official introduced me to somebody else. Rest is history. I got certified through the Minnesota State High School League and got my name on a few different distribution lists of people in the Twin Cities area who look for officials for track meets. But know that with track and field, it's a little bit of everything. Sometimes it's the school that calls you. Sometimes you are a person who just happens to know a person. So until you build some relationships with some other officials or athletic directors or somebody who is a coordinator of officials, it can be a little maybe daunting to get your foot in the door, literally. But by going to track meets and watching how things operate and shaking hands and introducing yourself to a few of the officials, quickly you will become not overwhelmed, but you'll have as many options as you want for track meets. Now I'm having to turn them down because there's 2 or 3 different track meets happening on the same days. What I love about officiating is watching the students achieve, succeed, and be out there in the elements. As we know, track and field season in Minnesota is short. We get a lot of rain, sometimes we have some snow, sometimes we have some terrible winds, but then sometimes you get that pitch perfect day in the spring where the sun is shining, it's nice low temperatures, low humidity, and the students are feeling really great. It's very rewarding to watch the students celebrate, be proud of themselves, learn something new, maybe try an event they've never tried. When you are the official, you hear a lot from them and you can converse with them and really help ease their minds a little bit and ensure them that they are doing something that's awesome for their professional and personal development as they grow and mature as a young adult. So I can't speak highly enough about the wonderful friendships I've made with officiating, both with other officials, but then also seeing the student athletes grow up, and the coaching relationships as well. Once you get down to it, it does turn into a pretty small, tight circle of people who all have the best interests of our young people in mind. So I hope you consider officiating track and field as well.
Perfect. She's really passionate about track and field officiating. She hasn't done it very long, but really a great voice for officiating in our state. And I appreciate all of the folks that have gave us their version of why they're in officiating and what it means to them. And everybody has a different reason. And hopefully you'll find yours as part of this journey. So thankful you're on here. Going to cover some next steps and registration and what we do at the league relative to officiating. We also are going to have Tony Schrepfer and Carolyn Dirksen from Minnesota Youth Athletic Services talk about the MYAS and officiating opportunities with them for some youth sport officiating opportunities. And then I will wrap it up with some stuff from the league. And as Laura mentioned earlier, we will also stay on at the end of the meeting, question and answer, and you can throw anything in the chat as well. Okay. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm going to cover next steps in this forum of being a registered official and what we do at the league with the officiating program. And I mentioned Tony and Carolyn earlier, but I want to make a special mention of Brett Carlson. Brett was the community education director at North Branch Schools, and he called me about a year ago, or a little more than a year ago now, to say, even before COVID, to say we need to do a recruitment event for officials. And I think it's such a great thing for young people. And he had no experience as an official. He was an administrator, was an AD for a time, but his positivity and his outlook on life was just so positive. And he felt we could recruit so many officials and get so many people in the door. And you couldn't help but want to get out there and roll up your sleeves and do it. And he was willing to do that. And he pushed me to have this forum. And unfortunately, Brett was diagnosed with colon cancer, and he passed away in November, but we're carrying on his mission, his vision through these forums, and happy to keep his memory alive as we go through this forum. I mentioned Pam earlier. Pam really is the go-to person in our office, the face of our program. If you have any questions about how to become an official, get registered, steps you need to take, associations, anything at all, she's really your go-to person. I'm there to help as well, but Pam is great. We also have many regional and state coordinators across the state, 100 unique associations, charter clinicians, and our observers that make up the league's officiating program, all of which are there to help you succeed in your journey as an official. I'm gonna cut over now to Tony and Carolyn. They're gonna talk about Minnesota Youth Athletic Services and what benefits there are for joining their group to officiate, and then we'll finish up with some league stuff. So Carolyn and Tony.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, this is Tony Schrepfer, Director of Officials at the MYAS. Jason and everybody else talked about it. I've worked with quite a few of these people. I work for Rachel, and it's a pleasure to be an official. And at the Minnesota Youth Athletic Services, we're a starting point, right? For brand new people that have not ever officiated, we're a really good starting point, right? We don't want to put you on a varsity basketball game, right? We'll put you on a fifth grade B game with a veteran official, so you get your feet wet a little bit, right? And you can learn a lot from our veteran officials. So, and then that's just part of the journey of being an official, right? Everybody talks about having their starting point. Why did they start or whatnot have you? But again, it'll ease you into the room, right? You ain't got to just come busting through the door, right? You're going to learn how to be an official. And when you work those youth tournaments, you get a lot of like reps within that, right? You could do 4 or 5 games in a day. You're going to see, 500-600 plays. And that's how you build your knowledge of being an official. So it's a great place to start. We do service 3rd through 8th grade for basketball. And then baseball, we do 9U through 18U. So if you want to, your first time out, we'll get you on a group that's, 3-4 years younger than you, and you can learn the game. And if you know the game already, that helps, right? I know a lot of people came in, there's a few that come in with not having any experience, but when you do have experience, that carries over onto the field because and you have some understanding of the field and what play is happening. So you're going to be in better positions. And there, a few of us talk about mechanics and rules knowledge, and just you being out there. For me, that's what it was about. I love just being out in the competition. Are we going to get some things wrong? John mentioned it. Yeah. Let's not be so hard on ourselves when we do get one wrong, right? Because a coach, you just say, hey, coach, if you saw it that way, I must have missed it, right? And then move on to that next play, like John said. So again, Minnesota Youth Athletic Services, that's a great starting point, and we're here for you. Just go to the MYAS.org and look us up. Carolyn, if you want to say a few words, that'd be great.
Yeah, so everyone, welcome. This is a great first starting point. So you already committing and coming on this call is your first step to becoming an official. So thank you guys for taking the time to be on this call. And as Tony mentioned, we are that starting point for our youth, basketball, baseball. Then also we have dived into a little bit of football as well. So it's great to know that we can help you in those sports. And if it's a sport that we don't offer, we'll find the person to get you connected with, especially at the youth level. It's just such a great starting point. And it's nice that when you do start at the MYS as well, I mean, also then working lower level high school games in your local high school association. It's just a great starting point, and it's just so much fun. Some of the skills you build that you can take on and off the court, field, the track, anything like that. So it's really great to just have those skills that you can carry out into your professional and family career as well. So definitely reach out to us. We're more than happy to help get you started. I know a lot of information you guys are going to hear tonight may seem overwhelming, or you're just like, where do I get started? And that's where we're here to help you out and get your foot onto the court.
And the one thing is we're connected, right? Jason and I, and then if you do get to that point, right, you can get connected to the NCAA. So we all work together, and we're all letting each other know. We're going to say, hey, this person's ready. Where do you live? Who do you want to join? These are the associations for high school, and then so on. And so it's a great, just gradual up, right? You're gonna make it to wherever you want it to go. If you want to just stay at the youth, great. If you want to go high school, outstanding, and so on. Move your way up. So again, we're all connected. We'll get you to where you need to be.
All right. You good, Tony and Carolyn?
Yeah, we're good. We talked
Okay.
about all this through here, right?
Yeah.
We cover all our ages. Yeah, we covered most of the stuff.
Perfect. So just to kind of finish up with MYS, they're very connected with us. Many officials work for both for MYS and for us. They work maybe some youth tournaments and so forth on weekends, and then work high school stuff during the week and so forth throughout the year. So and Carolyn and Tony, very experienced, longtime high school and collegiate officials themselves, and can connect you with veteran folks to get you started and provide that mentorship piece as well, regardless of the level. So appreciate their partnership in this. But these kind of things that are on the screen are a lot of the reasons why you probably decided to come on tonight. That why do I want to become an official? What are the benefits? What's in it for me? And this was really the slide that Brett used to cover. He was really passionate about it, especially the money-making aspect, but all of these things have been talked about from MJ, Rachel, from Mike, from John, from Jen. They all talked about the relationships, the ability to give back, how much fun it is. You know, when you work at the high school level, there's just that joy that you see from those kids participating. The higher you go, the higher levels you go, the more like a business that it becomes. Not that it isn't fun in its own way, but high school sports are just a different animal, and they're just fun is really the best way to describe it. And I'm fortunate to work at other levels, and I miss the high school. I miss the high school game nights. It's just more fun. You're with your local friends. The travel is not quite as chaotic, you know, most of the time. So high school is a great place to be. And I would tell you that working at our level provides opportunities for you to work in a safe environment. Our ADs, our principals, our superintendents they believe it's really important to have a good environment for everybody, including the officials, and they know that they need you more than you need them, and they're going to do everything they can to provide the best experience for you. And skills you develop as an official can be applied in your work life, in your home life. I have 4 kids, so I referee all day long and then all night as well. You know, those are skills that are transferable, and then the money piece certainly is there. Will you get ultra rich off of officiating? No, but there's certainly an opportunity to make a very good amount of money if you want to do that. When I was working my way through college at the University of Minnesota, my student loans were gone in 2 years because I was able to officiate the whole time. So those opportunities are there if you want it. Yet at the same time, I would tell you officiating is as flexible as can be. If you want to officiate one night a week, you can do that. If you want to officiate all 7 days a week, you can do that too. There's opportunities all the way from very little to all the time and everywhere in between, whatever works for your schedule. You know, being a coach is great, but you have to be at practice yet every day at a certain time. Flexibility is here with officiating. If you can you know, make it work with your schedule to work 2 nights a week, great. You can do that as an official. At the league, our job is to promote officiating as a desired avocation. I think that's what we try to demonstrate tonight with the various speakers and why they like it and why they still do it. We are responsible for officials registration, observation, training and development of officials. We're a liaison to those officials associations, and we're always trying to get better at what we do. At the league and our officiating program, always looking to get better. And then we're also responsible for state tournament official selection. Our job in teaching and developing is to help you with contest rules, mechanics, so where you stand, where you look, how you move, and how you communicate with your partners, with the players, with coaches, with anyone, with scores, score table personnel, whatever happens to be. That's our job, to teach you those fundamentals and help you with that throughout the year. And we do that through online rules modules. There's one for each sport. We also provide training clinics in many of our 18 sports that have officials. And then we also provide continuous training opportunities throughout the season. It's been talked about many times tonight. We will connect you with an experienced official, a mentor, an association. Those people are great at answering your questions, helping you as you go throughout the season. You're going to make mistakes, but they're there to help you to learn from those mistakes and then get better as you go. We're always promoting officiating. Now, I would tell you maybe that starting a track meet in a blizzard or officiating a football game in a blizzard maybe doesn't promote you to want to become an official, but I tell you that that's part of the fun. And you look at all the smiles on their faces. These are great people that give back to their sport and love doing it. And we also have several publications. We share these with our schools and elsewhere to also share the benefits of becoming an official. As part of this forum, you may have seen on our website, we have the officiating recruitment portal. All the potential information you would want, many of which is covered tonight, is on that part of the MSHSL.org website. So you can go there to ask questions. You can also find all of our associations there, as well as our coordinators. Any one of those folks can steer you in the right direction to get started. We have 6,000 contests and game officials in the state of Minnesota, and we're still short a little bit, which tells you just how many games and opportunities are out there to be had. So for those officials, we provide sport specific mailings, rules books and case books every other year. And then we're always there to answer your emails, your phone calls, answer your questions. If you're going through this process of becoming registered as an official with the league or are looking for a mentor, don't hesitate to email or call. We're there to help. Don't get frustrated and quit the process. We're always here, stand ready to help. Please call us or email us and we will take care of you or set you in the right direction. As far as registration or becoming official, if you're ready to register as an official, you would click on the link to Arbiter Sports that Pam will send out after this forum. We can also get you connected with an association as well. Let us know. We can connect you with one tonight. We've seen that in the chat that we can get you connected based on your sport or where you live. The fee to register is $30 for sport 1 if it's your first or second year as an official. If you're going to sport 2 or 3, it's $15 for each additional sport. The requirements to officiate varsity in Minnesota are watch a general officials module, complete the sport specific online rules module, pass the exam, concussion module, and background check. If you do those pieces, then you are eligible to work varsity competitions. There are other requirements to work section or state tournaments, but in your first year, you're looking at regular season assignments, and these are the basic requirements. And this is what it looks like when you go to that link on Arbiter Sports to register. And again, we have 18 sports that utilize game officials throughout our year. Talked about the fees. $30 sport 1, $15 for sport 2. You can also order additional publications, including Simplified and Illustrated, Rules by Topic, Flipping Coin, other things like that. You can order that as well. But the basic fee covers your rules book, your insurance, all the modules, etc. Though that nominal fee covers those pieces. Every official that comes in new has to take a background check. We recheck that every 5 years, but that is why the birth date and social security number is required as part of the registration process, because we do complete that. Don't panic if it's not done right away. We complete background checks about 1 to 2 weeks right before the season starts, so we can send one bulk amount of background checks. The concussion course is a state law. If you work with kids in a coaching or officiating capacity, you do need to complete a concussion course. That's part of your Arbiter central hub. That's where you would find all of your eligibility requirements, and the concussion module will be there. It's required to be taken once every 3 years by state statute. At the end of this summer, all officials will be wiped clean and will have to take the new course, and then you'll be good for 3 years. Okay, the online presentation and the exam. So every official has to watch a general officiating module once. It talks about things that are about every sport and officiating. And then each sport has its own online module that talks about new rules, points of emphasis, editorial changes, and so forth. And that's right before the season, you would watch that. Once you do that, you would take the exam, and the exam varies from 30 to 100 questions. Typically true, false, multiple choice. There is no fill in the blank. Some video questions in some sports. We encourage you to use your rules book, and we really encourage you to work with a veteran or mentor official who can help you through the rules exam. You know, it's really a collaborative process. Really, that first time you do it, you're going to learn rules as you go. You'll find out that maybe if you played a game or a sport, that maybe you don't know the rules quite as well as maybe as you thought. but it's a great process to go through that exam with a veteran official who can help you take that. It's an 80% open book exam. Typically, I would say the exams are around 50 questions. So we're looking at, we need to get 40 questions correct to pass, and it is open book, and you get 2 attempts at that if you don't pass on the first attempt. All of your eligibility items, the things we've talked about, the exam, the modules, and your concussion module, those are all done on Arbiter on the central hub. Once you register, you'll have access to that and all the resources that are there. Prior to the season, you will get a packet. If you're a new official, get a rules book, either a case book or mechanics manual, depending on the sport. You'll get access to rules changes, point of emphasis. We typically have rules changes every year, and you'll also get some general league info as part of that preseason information. That typically comes to you roughly a month or so before the season starts. If you register now for spring sports, you'll get those in the mail within a couple weeks. Pam will pull those as we go. Here's kind of a snapshot of where we're at officials wise, just to give you an idea. I said we have 6,000 officials roughly. I know it says 8,000 or so, but that accounts for officials that work multiple sports. But this is where we're at currently, and notice we've kind of stayed right around a similar number over the last 15 years or so, and hoping we can get back up closer to that 9,000 mark would really put us in a good spot. We create training clinics which work on mechanics and where you stand and where you look and those kind of things in the sports that are listed on the screen. And we also provide continual training opportunities in other sports as well. But the reason we don't have clinics in the other sports, lacrosse comes to mind, even hockey, not as much, dance team. The reason we don't do clinics in those sports is because those associations provide very robust training to their new officials and even their current ones. And so we don't need to do extra clinics because they do really great clinics on their own. We also have weekly training available, football, basketball, as well as training being developed for wrestling, soccer, gymnastics, softball, baseball. And then we also do some memos during the season to talk about misapplication of rules or misconceptions or things that we need to clean up as a whole. We have about 35 clinics throughout the year. So you have plenty of opportunities to learn, get better, ask questions, and then we have meetings during the season as well that we would encourage officials to attend. We talked about the associations. We have 100 unique officials associations across the state that cover every sport. And so we will get you connected with an association if you want to be. And we would encourage a membership with an association. It's not required, but we encourage that because they provide mentorship, they provide training, access to uniforms, equipment, just all the things you would want to help you in your career an association can do for you. So we recommend it strongly. Again, not a requirement, but we certainly recommend that you do reach out to a local officials association and join them, because that's a way you're going to get more assignments and access to mentorship as well. Now, equipment is a cost. We get that. There are starter packages from a number of companies like Smitty, Jerry Davis, Honigs, etc., that can help you get started in officiating. The cost depends on the sport. Baseball, hockey, more equipment, more expensive. Other sports, less so. But check with your association. They can help you with discounts on equipment and how to get those uniforms, equipment to get started. You do have insurance as part of your registration with the league. I know that that's not something that everyone thinks about all the time, but it is a nice benefit that officials do have, and it covers some excess medical and liability as well. We encourage you to work a scrimmage, get out, and Rachel talked about it as well. Just get out and see as many plays, work as many games as you can. That's how you're going to get better. You're going to make mistakes, that's for sure, but you'll make a mistake and then you'll learn from it and you won't do it again, and you'll just get better and better and more confident as you go. and you're going to enjoy it more when you are more confident. So we encourage you to get out and work as many scrimmages, as many practices, as many games as you can that works within your schedule. And then you're ready to go. You'll have games, you'll start officiating, find a mentor, get advice, get feedback. That's how you're going to get better. Look at video, watch yourself work. That's really the way that you're going to see your officiating career really take off in the direction that you want to see it go. And that is the basics to becoming a registered and eligible official and the requirements to work with the league. The requirements are the same for every sport as far as the basics, the modules, the exam, and your background check. Those are the basics for every sport. If you're looking to register for a fall sport or a winter sport, registration for those sports will start in May for the following year, and you can register at any time after that. If you're ready to go for a spring sport, that registration is open now, and that remains open all the way until the testing deadline, which is in mid to late March for most of our spring sports, with exception of lacrosse, which is early April. So those are the deadlines there. There is no late fee for new officials. So whenever you register, it's your $30 fee and you're off and running. And then again, registration for the fall and the winter will begin in May. And so if you're looking to do that, please connect with us at that stage and we will get you going. In the meantime, we would encourage you to connect with an association. Even if you're looking at the fall or the winter, we encourage you to connect with them now because they will give you information on what to do as we prepare for those fall seasons, because it goes fast. All of a sudden the spring is gone and the summer's gone and we're into fall and we're ready to go. And we want you to be prepared and feel confident that you're ready to go as an official. But we appreciate all of you coming on tonight. Hopefully you learned a thing about registering as an official and the benefits and what needs to happen to become an official. We have a recording of this, so we'll share that with other folks so they can watch it, review it again. We will also email all of you directly with more information on how to register, how to connect with an association, as well as information for our website. And again, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to Pam or myself or any of the speakers that you heard here tonight. We stand ready to help you in your officiating journey. So again, appreciate all of you being on tonight. I and some other speakers will stick around. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat or unmute if you have a question. Otherwise, the rest of you, if you don't have any questions and you're ready to go, have a great night. And thank you for being on here.